appears that we're back. We got to get the homie on here. Had a little issue earlier with the invite. So let's see. See who we are. See who we are. See who we are. Okay, all right. Share my screen. And we are back at it. Okay. Let me get Mr. Quick back on here.
Trying to get the other camera on here. I think we in there.
It looks like we are up and running. Let's see. David, my mans.
That ain't Rucker, is it?
That is.
That dude text me just to tell me that I was trash. Kind of friend is that?
Was it the truth?
No.
Oh, well, he's a terrible friend then. If it was true, then he's a great friend, to be honest with you.
He said, yeah, he said my banner was trash. My
Oh,
brand
well,
new banner.
that's different from calling you trash.
It felt the same though. It felt similar.
I can understand that. Let's see. We gotta get these screens situated. Situate the situation. I really want to get my screen small in the corner so there's more room for the drawings that we're doing. But it seems that only works when it's just two things on the screen.
I
Why is
think you
that?
can do one. I think you can do one large one. Like you can do your screen large and the three of us and the other three small, and like
Yeah,
bring mine
nah,
up every now and then.
we don't want that. We want it to be consistent love. You feel me?
Yeah, like that right there. That's a good one.
Nah, that doesn't give people a chance to see in full what Danny Dangeligus Quick is capable of.
Nah, bro, I'm learning. You teaching, I'm learning. It's different. Um, they can see what I'm doing when I get there.
We'll rotate it around different moments.
Okay, I think we're in there. I see it.
David said, "Get the facts straight, bro." He said, "You talking yang yang."
I'm just telling you how it feels to be me in these streets. There we go. Okay.
Oh man, I think I gotta delete that, and then that one's live. So all right, we good.
What you want to talk about today, bro? You want to talk about this? Who cares about how you feel? I care. I care how I feel. Supposed to be my brother, man. We supposed to love each other, man. We're supposed to respect each other. And I'm gonna show you the text. I'm gonna show you the text how he came in. Hold on. Let me find it.
You talking about David?
His words was he didn't say nothing. He didn't say good morning. He didn't say good morning. He didn't say good afternoon. He didn't say what's up. He said trash, straight trash. That's all he said. Trash, straight trash. I was like, what? What did I do? I felt I was like, man, come on now. And then he was like, your banner, LOL. But by then the damage was done. I had already felt the pain. I already felt
Mm.
like I did something wrong in my life. Felt like I was worthless. You know what I'm saying? Because my brother in arms, my military brethren, he said that I was trash, straight trash. But you know, it's all good.
Hurt people hurt people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too.
So maybe somebody has said something about his banner and then he had to respond. You know what I'm saying?
Be like that.
And he called me
Um,
Willie.
just just more disrespect. Disrespect on top of disrespect.
Yo, how
Oh,
my mic sound? Am I too far away? Is it good? I don't know what the settings should be on this thing.
that sound good. Sound good. My-
One,
for
two.
those of y'all that don't know, Wally got a new mic. He got a new, well, not a new mic, but
Nah,
he
not a new
finally
mic.
connected. He finally connected the old mic that
Yeah,
he
that
had.
part. That part.
That part.
All right, Mr. Quick, what we doing? What we doing besides talking about Mr. Rucker insulting your banner and
I,
completely, you know,
I want to learn
being
how to draw
disrespectful?
hands. I know we didn't talk about this before. I know we didn't talk about this before, but I want to learn how to draw hands.
He's just gonna throw the most devastating element of all into the mix, huh?
Yeah, I want to go straight for the guts right there, bro. Go straight for the
The
guts.
most crippling element of all.
That's it, man. If you can, from what I understand, and I ain't been drawing super long, but I know that even in my sketches, I try to hide hands. I be trying my best not to draw hands because they so intricate. You can do so much with them, and they're so important. There's so much energy and emotion and power in hands. So
Yes. Yes, yes. So I'm not no expert on that by far. I can just show you some of my little, I guess, what do we want to call them? Cheats. My
yeah,
little things. Hello, Beverly. How do you do? Thank you for joining us.
Beverly
Man,
Clap. Good to see you on the stream.
Mr. Rucker told you to learn how to draw your big head.
They ain't nothing but a big circle, perfect circle. I can do
All
that.
right, so hands. Again, the funny shape thing, just figuring out a shape, right? So I guess most people probably use a rectangle, but I use whatever this is. This is a side hand, I guess. Side view.
Mhm.
Draw like where the knuckle would be. And so now you got one finger, two finger, three finger, four finger, or if you get to make it action and active, so it looks like it's actually doing something. Here's the hand, right? And then the wrist. Do stick things, stick little little pieces of a hand. Now, some people use the peanut method. You ever done a peanut method before?
I never even heard of the peanut method, sir.
All right, well, let's do the peanut method. Let's go over the peanut method. Hands are terrible to draw.
But you be killing it though, man. Your hands are some of the best hands in the game.
Cat, as the young people say, cat. Um, my hands are horrible. I get to cheat and spend a lot of time on certain hands so people don't look at the other hands.
Okay, I'm finding out the truth now.
Yes, sir. That's the thing about drawing stuff for real, live. People get to learn about your mishaps. All right, so the knuckles, these little circles can represent knuckles, not the Sonic character.
Right, right,
The
right.
peanut method is where you draw almost like a peanut shaped thing, right?
Hmm.
So that's basically the bone overlapping or connecting to the rest of the bone. And I'm doing these real quick, but just to give an idea, that's probably way too big. But so now you have the joints of the finger, and you go back over that and just add your flesh, so to speak.
Bro. That's like a whole different.
You know, so your little peanut things just give you a guide for where the fingers are going to be. Then you draw back over it, and now you've got some flesh. And again, this one is a little big, but you get the general idea of what you're trying to do there.
See,
So
I want to
you
know
do that from any angle. Hmm?
before we get to the end of this. I want to know the cheats too, though. I want to know the cheat codes. I want to
That
know.
is the cheat. That's the best I that's the best I can give you. I mean,
That's
well,
still
you can do things like so from I used to love watching looking at McFarlane artwork, right? So he would do things like this, where say you got your hand shape, then oh, it's a little wild, but and so instead of drawing all the fingers out, he would kind of lay out the guideline for where the fingers would go.
important.
But the two fingers in the middle, he'd always put close together and then put like a slight gap in between them.
I seen you do that before. I seen you draw some hands like that before.
Yeah, I love doing that because you don't gotta detail all of them. One, two, three, four, five. Make sure I'm drawing five fingers. What did the five fingers say to the face?
Slap, Charlie Murphy.
So then you start trying to do it three dimensional. You got to do the peanuts on the other side. Start making the peanuts have some more life to them. Again, trying to make sure I'm doing five and not six because I don't know why. Sometimes you feel like drawing six of them.
Six finger man.
So then you throw your skin over the top, the palm of the hand, connecting over to the thumb, knuckle, crazy finger, another crazy finger.
You done drew a
This is the
whole.
time when you probably want to draw through so you can actually make sure it's landing where it's supposed to land, but you know, we just getting the general principle down, so it ain't got to be perfect. Probably too much space in between that one and that one. I mean, too close for that one down. But Brad, what up, bro? Fish
Brad
Lee.
Hardy. Fish is Fish a monster, bro. Fish is one of those super fast artists, man. I seen him lay out a whole book over a weekend, man. Dude is wild.
Hey, he said he had to draw, so he had to redraw so many six finger hands. Yes, sir.
Hilarious.
But this is just options. Like fish and other cats could probably tell you for sure. Like even when you think you got it, you still be learning different ways to do it and trying to figure out better ways to do it and faster ways to do it, more accurate ways to do it.
Hmm.
But hands are, I've heard many artists say hands are the devil, but hands are super important to, I guess, emotion and feeling sometimes.
How many closed fists do you think that you've drawn in your lifetime as an artist?
In the early days, that's probably all I ever drew if I could help it. I would find a million reasons to keep that hand closed. Like, why are we opening the hand up? Yeah, see, Fish said he's always learning, always looking for a better cheat. Because I mean, I guess when I learned that some things are about the illusion, like if
Hmm.
you can convince the eye that this is what it sees, then sometimes you don't have to go all the way. But then it's also like, what's my shortcut? What's my way to get this done and keep it moving? Or what's a way that someone has come up with or found that's just a little bit cleaner, a little bit better? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Especially when you got to draw somebody having a conversation for 30 panels and you're like, yeah, how many movements can I really make this hand move compared to if it was on TV where, you just film it? I've looked back at some of the books I did for Danny with Ace Belay and be like, God dang, Danny let that fly.
bruh, them books was classics, bruh.
Oh, classics. That's a cool word for this was terrible. This is terrible today, but it was pretty all right back then.
Nah, they still good, bruh. Um, so since I can't draw to save my life, I'll just show my support by purchasing art from multiple artists. Beverly Clapp. Hey, I'm
And
trying to learn. Trying to
she
learn.
always. Yeah, that's part of the point of this too, though. Because Danny is determined he's not gonna just write and run stores and edit and letter and learn the color. He's determined he's gonna draw a full book on his own at some point in time in the next couple years.
I don't know about
So
that.
I figured since you can't tell Mr. Quick no, you might as well figure out a way to join him. So by drawing together, we both learn together, and any of the rest, anybody else ever want to jump in with us? I don't know how many screens we can get in here, but you know, we enjoy the process, conversing and all that.
Nah, nah, fish. I'm not trying to take nobody's job. I'm just trying to learn and respect the art form. Honestly, one thing about me is
He's
I,
trying to take our jobs, Fish. You right. He wants all the
I,
jobs.
I promise you, I'm not. I promise you, I'm not.
Danny said, I'm tired of hiring all these artists, man. I'm gonna just draw this myself. It's cheaper.
Nah, bro. It's not. I mean, like, I respect. You know me, Wally. I've never
Nah,
been the
yeah, I
type
know.
to be like, yo, your prices is too high. You ain't like, bro. Why you charging so much? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I know for good and well, I can draw a little bit. And if I would have stayed with it for the last 10 years, from when I was in high school, 15 years to now, I might be able to do this. But, bro, y'all put in the time, and I believe y'all are worth y'all's talent, and your time is worth every penny that you charge. And look, if it's not in my budget, it's not in my budget. But I'm never gonna disrespect somebody and say you charging too much or whatever.
Right,
Um,
right.
hey, yeah, some of the best comics are stick figures. That thing on Cyanide and Happiness, just some circle dudes. And it's hilarious.
You know what? I've been learning that I don't have to try to over detail everything. I don't have to be just like when I'm sketching, I try not to be overly committed to certain aspects of it. I'm learning I can do that even with the professional work too, to certain degrees, especially in certain panels. Like you do a ton of work in a panel and then you get covered up by word bubbles, and you're like, good grief. Now, I mean, some people can do that. There's some artists out there. I've just found this artist. I'm not sure where dude is from. I think he's from like France. His name is Pierre something. I have to find his last name, but it's these books that he works on. I have no clue how many he finishes in a year, but one page will have about 20 panels on it, and the
Mm.
detail is ridiculous in each panel. And I'm like, how, bro? Like, how? But it's amazing. It looks amazing. If I had to describe his style, I'd say he's a cross between Greg Titus, Stephen Platt, and Todd McFarlane. Like
Ooh,
those three artists combined into one.
that's super
But I
hard.
realized for some of the things that I work on, like it's about the suggestion. Like suggest that there are trees here. Should suggest that there are mountains here. Suggest that there's certain action happening. Everything doesn't have to be so head on, you know?
Yeah. Um, and you're right. Like, I want to say you're the one who told me about backgrounds too. Like, um, I love, backgrounds and having a setting, be, you know, be what, sets the mood for a comic book. But realistically, if you give them a good setting panel, establish it just like they do in movies. You give them a good establishing shot. That first panel tells them where they are. The rest of it, like, you don't really need a bunch of super complex backgrounds for, a scene, especially if it's, the focus isn't on the background. Like I'm asking people to do work for it's now that's a foot.
Yeah.
Now
Playing
you
around with
really
triangles.
now you're really getting in trouble right here, bro. I wasn't never gonna ask you feet, bro. I know feet is that's a taboo subject for some artists, bro.
What
Uh,
artists are you naming, sir?
none just random, nobody in particular.
Oh, the
But
way you said it, it kind of felt like you was coming for somebody there. You know,
I
somebody
would
who
never.
might.
I don't think I've ever drawn a foot in my entire life. So I would never, I would never come at a artist who doesn't who doesn't like to. Fish said, "It broke my heart when I realized no one was going to spend as long looking at the backgrounds as I did drawing them. I started simplifying my buildings, and it looked better, and it went much faster. Yeah, man. I
True,
mean,
true indeed.
and it's like I said, it's some people do appreciate that. Like you'll find people like me and Morgan was talking about his lumberjacks comic. There's certain things that he puts into his comics that are symbolic,
Right,
but he knows that 90% of the people that read it aren't going to get it, but it's just there for that 10%. It's just
right.
there for that 10% of people who are going to take a deeper look and who are going to appreciate it. So, and that's cool too. So I'm always down with it. But even like my man Javon, like I was looking at his book, Heat, the other
Hmm.
day, where and I don't want to spoil the hold on, I ain't gonna spoil it, so I'm gonna go to the front.
Yeah, you team Sporto, so be careful.
I'll be doing that. Where sometimes like this, like he'll have a page. I don't know if you can see it, but he'll have a
Hold on,
page where
let me switch that up so you can get a bigger shot there. See, this is why I said we don't need to be doing this small shot thing.
no, that's good. So bam, like this establishing shot right here for this page. This house, this is either a photo or a 3D picture of the Clark family home, right?
Hold on.
That he used to establish this shot, right? So
Right,
now the rest of these panels, you can see a tree is in the background, you can see it's daylight in the background, but the rest of this panel, you don't have to go into the whole rest of this page, you don't have to go into super detail about where they are because you established it right here in this first panel.
right.
Um, so you know, that's one thing that you just kind of have to learn as you go because you would honestly think, "Oh, I got to draw every little thing." But if you read comics, you know that's not true. If you actually read the comics and look at the books um, that you are a part of the community of, then you know that that's not 100% true. Man, get out. This is bad, bro. You put me on the small screen now, bro. Put me back on the small
Mm.
screen.
What you mean, bro? It's actually that's pretty darn good.
Get back on the small screen because these look like ET hands. These are like ET phone homes right here.
Hey, ET hands are important too.
Um, so feet
So
though, like
I like drawing feet more than hands personally. It's just easier. Not easier, like it's easy, but
That
The
sound like a
ability
little.
to kind of cheat and find your way with it is easier.
Sound like you got a little affinity, a little something on the side. I
Nah,
know when people say they like feet, it's a little extra, Wally. I don't know if we need to get that deep.
are you talking about something strange here? Because I'm just talking about
It's
drawing from the
okay.
state
I
of,
mean,
you know what I mean? I'm not. Is Tiana in the room or something? What is going on right now, Danny? I don't.
hey, you do, hey. I know certain people, bro. That's another trigger, like I said. But Brad said everyone has a fetish. I don't know.
Oh, you talking about
Might get more viewers.
you talking about fetish world? Okay, nah. I'm saying just like I mean with hands, you can do some interesting stuff, but you can do some really cool stuff. But there's more parts to it to get it to, I guess, be whatever, right? Like so, this same foot takes way less thought to kind of throw it in there and suggest certain things than it does if you're trying to do it with a hand.
Yeah.
Now, the hand is here. It's a weird ghoul goblin man's hand, I guess. Why is somebody at my door when I'm doing a live? Let me find out.
Delivery.
Delivery, delivery. Um,
Special delivery.
I never liked that song. No disrespect to the
Me either.
to
It's
the
not,
creators,
it's not a great one.
but
It was
like
catchy.
with the foot, it's just a lot easier to change this color. It's a lot easier to suggest what it's doing, and because there's a lot of triangles, a foot is really just a triangle that gets to move around a little bit.
I see what you mean, though. I think also because a lot of those bones are covered up. Like like you say, you can suggest where that bone is, and it's kind of covered up by the flesh. Whereas you actually got to draw the flesh of each finger.
Right.
Um, so
So like
I see.
that's a shoe. Look at it. That's a shoe. That's a shoe.
Yeah, yeah, it
Like
is.
in some situations, that's a whole shoe right there, bro. Now, you can go on top and do some additional work to it if you want to, but I mean, ultimately, that's a shoe. Now we can go in here and do some fanciness to it, throw a tongue, and now it's a slip-on shoe. It's a
Yep,
nice little slide.
one of
One of
them
those
new
sock style shoes. Look at that. Boom. We done already. You
designed
know?
a whole new concept, a whole style.
So feet just offer a little more simplicity. Even like if you want to draw the foot from the back, it's still essentially the triangle, right? The toes. And so here's the whole back of a foot
Quickly
without a whole lot of thought or energy necessary. You know what I mean?
for
Not
you.
saying that it's perfect, just saying
For you.
you can.
Let me hold on. Let me flip the next page. All right. You
Yeah, let me
keep
make let me make let me make this bigger so we can watch Danny
no, no,
knock this
no, no,
joint out.
you nah, you keep doing you keep you keep drawing. You keep drawing feet and I'm gonna try. Cause like I said, I don't know if I've ever drawn one. So
Hey, what up, bro? Yes, Beverly. Yes, Brad. Danny has a foot fetish and he's trying to put it on me.
bro, no. Where did that no. No, don't put that on me, bro. Cause I can't
Now, listen. I ain't even gonna. My wife has some, and she probably don't want me talking about her camp. She has some beautiful feet. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't call myself a foot fetish beast. But like Brad said, everybody got a fetish. You know what I mean? Some people like furry creatures dressed up at conventions. Some people like
yeah,
other weird
absolutely.
stuff. You know. And keep in mind, y'all, I wasn't gonna draw hands and feet. Danny just threw this on me all of a sudden. So somebody was in a certain place. I don't know if it's the cold medicine or what's
No,
going on
bro.
over there.
I just want to know what the people want to know. I've been on the internet searching for tutorials on how to draw, and I know, one of the main ones is hands and feet, man. I know that's something a lot of people have trouble with.
Man,
See, I don't even know what a shoe look like, bro.
you can probably do hand and feet tutorials over and over and over because it just feels like you're always going to learn something new about. I mean, all parts
Yeah,
of drawing, but especially that part.
I was watching. Dang, seems like I'm always talking about David Finch for some reason. David Finch, is that his name?
Yeah, Dave Finch. Yeah, I
David
mean,
Finch,
he's a
yeah.
dope artist.
He got a So he does little he does a whole YouTube series, of drawing stuff. And I started with the cross hatching. He was just showing how he does cross hatching, and then I just went to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, and he had
Hmm.
one on hands and feet, and I was like, bro, this dude like does it so simply, like he just you know. So I don't know what kind of shoes these are, but I have a problem with like you know
Oh,
the part.
that's them new. Well, I don't have a person to connect to. That's them new Danny 12s. Yeah.
The Daddy 12s. Hey, I'll take it. Um, let me see that tippy toe one more time. I want to see that.
Which one?
You had one with the tippy toe.
The
Can you
one
see?
where you kicking?
Nah, the blue one right there in the corner. You had
Oh, that one.
one on the tiptoe. See that? So you got the back of the foot, just the heel down to the ball of the feet, and the
Try,
toes just out there.
try your triangle first, man. Try your weird shaped triangle.
Triangle. It is a weird triangle though. You got your you got to add the see. That's why. All right, you said triangle. Hold on. So go. Let me see your big screen again. Show me that the tiptoe one. Like, where'd you start with the triangle on that? Because I see the heel is a point.
All right, all right. Let me change my color here so we can try to make it stand out a little bit, homie. So the heel is a triangle,
Okay.
and then this is essentially a triangle, right?
Mm,
Or you can go straight from here to there, and then this to that. Or you can skip all of that and just simply do like that, and then start to carve out. So it's kind of like how we put that line down to do a face, but then your chin might extend past that line. You can do that with the triangle shaping as well. So you get the first part of the foot in, and then you start building out the rest of it. That makes sense?
yeah, kind of, sort of.
Or does it sound crazy?
Triangles. I hear that a lot of too. I hear a lot of artists say everything is shapes. Everything is kind of built from shapes. Your basic shapes. You got triangles and squares and circles, and then your 3D shapes. Your cylinders. Your like you say
Yes.
your beanbag bodies, and kind of build with that too. So
Yeah, your cylinders and cones and all that. Your bean bags. And then you start pulling them all together.
they start looking like something.
Ed said that's some Ace Belay high tops.
Got them ace them ace blade twos coming out soon.
So for that tiptoe foot, you can even just take, this is your base triangle, right? And your toe's gonna go somewhere around here, depending on how you got the person standing. But the other part of the foot, you just got to curve and draw it on there. So now you have a person standing on their tippy toes.
I saw I was watching this video on TikTok where they were talking about Tarzan, the animators for the Tarzan movie, and
The
how
Disney one?
Yeah, the Disney Tarzan joint, and how they were literally walking around like on their hands and knuckles, and
Hmm.
how they watch the apes and the gorillas and everything, and how they have, they walk around, they walk on these knuckles right here, but they have like a literally an extra muscle in their hand to be able to support their weight. But
Right.
when they were trying to do it as humans, they couldn't. Like they were like, we can't do that. So they had to, use this thumb, put that thumb down as that extra support. And that's
Right.
how, and like they literally put that into the movie that Tarzan, he couldn't walk like they were walking. So he used his thumb as an extra support. And
Right. 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 Right.
like just think having to think about something like that as an artist, like, bruh, I would never even would never even consider that. But that's why they have that's why them studios get the work, because they got them
Yeah. I
thinkers in.
mean, and they have time,
Yeah,
to try to push what it is. I mean, and that's what most of us as artists would love. If you get a project that gives you time to do research and dive into certain things, sometimes you don't really get that type of opportunity. You just got to jump in there and do some quick study and move. But when you see these behind the scenes of some of these films and you realize, oh, like people go to locations and go do some principal photography and go do tons and tons of concepts and character sketches and yada yada yada. I tell people all the time, you don't have to rush your process. You may not, have the ability to spend years and years and years, but you can take your time to really do research and make sure that you're coming out with what you want.
right.
I mean, I don't know that I would. I don't know that I'm creative enough to be like, yo, let me walk, see if I can walk around like they do. But I probably would have looked at some video footage and try to mimic it as best as possible, especially at this point in life. Like I think about those things more than I might have when I was younger. When I was younger, it was just, hey man, let's just draw.
Yeah,
Let's draw and make something dope, and that's all that really mattered. Can I make it dope? But then you start realizing it'd be a lot doper if you really knew what you was drawing.
if I knew what I was doing, this would actually be dope.
Right.
What is this you drawing? You doing some James Evans, or what's his name from?
Good
He did
times.
uh,
JJ, original artist Ernie Barnes. Yes,
Ernie
sir. One of
Barnes.
my favorite artists of all times.
Ernie Barnes, yeah. He was born in Durham.
Yep. That's what made me super hype. The fact that he was from the Carolinas.
Yeah,
I think he was the first time that I was aware of a black artist that was actually making a living from art. Probably the first time I was aware of a black artist, period. At that point in life, my grandmother put me onto the reruns of that show, and he was the first time I had seen a black artist. I knew about artists, but I had never seen anyone black recognized or making a living or doing anything with art. So that sparked something in me like, wow, that's okay. First it was the fact there was a guy on the show. Then it was like, oh, not only is there a guy on the show, but this guy on the show is imitating or has the work of a real person out there that's black and doing art. It was like, oh, that's cool. So there probably began my journey into figuring this thing out.
yeah.
Of course, I was
That
motivated by a lot of artists, but it definitely helped to know that there was a reality that I could come from where I was coming from at the time and try to go after something like this.
yeah, that's that inspiration that Ed Williams be talking about, man. It's wild that art can inspire. I mean, and that's kind of cliche to say, but like literally, art inspires you. Like you just don't
Hmm.
know, you know, you don't know what you don't know, and You don't think about um sometimes you don't even think about the possibilities of what you don't know until somebody, shows it to you. So
Right.
I think that's dope.
So these little quick sketch things like this, yes sir, the Sugar Shack.
Yeah.
Oh, Fish said when he's working, he he pretty much wilds out. Me too. If you walk in on an artist that's really into what they're doing, my God, some of the things you might see them acting out or doing to try to figure out the mood or the feeling or the whatever,
Mm.
bruh, you would think somebody's lost their mind. You walk in, but see, in my house, if you walk in those moments, I just make you take part. Like, all right, I ain't gonna be the only one looking crazy. You got to
You
come
know,
on and jump on the arm of this chair and do some kung fu too. But yeah,
yeah,
so these little quick sketches are just like again taking those bean bags and trying to shape them out to be something that's really not nothing, but it's over exaggeration of the anatomy because most people ain't bending like bro right here bending. You know what I'm saying? But again, those basic shapes. And I know we're supposed to be on feet and hands, but Danny won't let me show him his feet and hands large. Oh, what you drawing there, Danny? Let's switch it over, brother.
nah, I didn't quit, bro. I didn't gave up after triangle feet. I didn't gave up after triangles. Um, I'm just getting some inspiration. I heard what you just said though made me think about something else though. I
What's
don't know
that?
who said it. They said that um, making I I think the saying is you have to know the rules before you can break the rules or something like that. Um, when it comes to
Yeah,
art or sculpture or anything like that, if you know anatomy or if you know what a body is supposed to look like, then you can kind of stretch it and do different things like that. So,
right.
that's another reason that it might be important to kind of learn what the body actually does first before you try to, like you said, before you try to make it dope, learn what it is.
Yeah, that's definitely a statement that has to be considered heavily. Some people have a natural knack for certain things, but ultimately, a lot of times what we draw, if you're not like, God bless the dead, Kim Jong Gi, or
Hmm.
somebody who has these things kind of embedded, whether it be from their memory, their way that their mind works, whether it be from doing it for so long, references and understanding how anatomy and perspective work plays a huge role in your ability to pull certain things off. Because sometimes what you see in your mind is not anywhere near accurate, and it don't look right simply because we aren't familiar with how the body's supposed to fold and bend. But sometimes stylistic things look really cool even if they don't look right. But if you understand what you're doing, you can definitely take it a step further and get away with it because you understand how it works enough to say I want to twist it to this. Like, some people don't feel like McFarlane was the best artist to look at when hola, ¿cómo está? Muy bien,
Specs,
gracias. ¿Y tú?
the homie Specs. That's another comic book creator.
He said unless
You
you
know,
work for Nickelodeon. um But some people felt like McFarlane wasn't the best when it came to anatomy, especially compared to like a Jim Lee who really studied those
yeah,
things on a deeper scale. But he knew how to make things look really cool. He did understand anatomy enough, you know, to where he could stylize it and make it real dope. Some of the things that he was doing, and of course, you'd look at some things and be like, I mean, as a kid, I remember trying to see if I could move like Spider Man was moving, but I understood his logic too. I want to make Spider Man more as spider like as you can get a human body to be. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So, but yeah, to your point. understanding anatomy, learning anatomy will definitely help you be a better artist. Understanding anything that you can about the world visually can help you become a better artist. And that's where the practice comes in. Not being afraid to take the time to practice and draw things that aren't necessarily cool and just trying to get
Yeah,
better at them.
yeah,
And I've been trying
yeah.
to work on drawing things that are cute because I don't draw that often.
Man, you always be drawing cute. Man, stop it. You be drawing little puppy wolves and red pandas. They ain't gonna
Yeah, I've been drawing a lot of that more lately, just so that drawing angry people all the time.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Rob Liefeld. People, there's a bunch of them that couldn't draw feet though. I think Liefeld just gotta he had that. When you get that reputation,
You see,
it's
the thing about Liefeld for me is I don't know. When I look back at some of his earlier stuff, it seemed like it wasn't so much that he couldn't draw them; he just chose not to.
yeah,
It's like he found this point where it was like, I just gotta keep making it kind of cool and get it
yeah,
done really fast, and then I can move on to this next thing. And so he would find it seemed like he was finding a lot of shortcuts to just be like, yo, I'm not finna draw all these feet. What I gotta draw all these feet for? I just put a rock right there because they just blew something up, so there's a rock right there. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And he
That's
probably did it
hilarious.
the most out of everybody, so it became very very easy to see and be like, yo, why are their feet never showing? Spec said elbows. Yeah, elbows weird.
Mm.
Elbows are you got the arm, and then there's this thing that's a weapon that sticks out of the arm. And I never draw them very good. I just draw them enough to say, well, yeah, that's where the elbow would would be.
Yo, that actually worked, Wally.
What's that?
The triangles worked on accident. I wasn't even trying to draw it, bro. I was like, let me
You
put two triangles right here, and a foot came out of it. I quit, bro.
bro. Well, see, if nothing else, you can say that during these sessions you had an accidental triangle foot happen.
Hey, that's all right. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna teach that to my kids. I'm gonna act like I came up with it though.
Hey man, it don't matter. I'm pretty sure I got it from somewhere. Somebody I was watching a video or something or listening to in person or something. Now, if your kids ever see me at the show again and they see me doing it and be like, "Oh, my dad taught you that," I'm gonna have like 2 seconds to decide whether to call you out or give you your credit so that you can be their
No,
hero.
they know. Nah, they know. Shoot, you're gonna be like, nah. They gonna see you do it, and they gonna be like, oh, I see where Dad got it from. They're gonna give me the mean side eye.
I don't know why I be drawing these little weird creatures. Yeah, I do because I mean it's an easy way. Even though the anatomy is nowhere near correct, it's an easy way to I don't want to cover up. Another thing you start running into fish, Ed, spec. Y'all can probably speak on this when you're drawing something and you don't want to cover something up. So then you don't really want you got to figure out how to finish that drawing at that point. Like I don't want to cover up these feet because I was gonna have the hands hanging down, but then that
Hmm.
means the little feet get covered up.
See, that's the problem you were talking about earlier. You got it, Ed. Yeah, man. Please jump on with us one week, man. Set you up a camera and jump on with us. We'll get in there, bro. Yeah, that's the problem you were talking about earlier, man. Having to decide what to show and what to cover up, and that's the trouble with 2D. You know, you can only see one side of it.
Right, right. And yes, Ed, I second Danny. Appreciate you stopping through, bro, and come back. And that's to anybody too. We definitely want to get other people on from time to time with us. Some of the coolest stuff I draw gets covered up with junk in the room. See,
Yeah,
and then but you just got to accept it. It's like, all right, that's just what it had to be.
get it from another
To
angle next
you say you're gonna draw some ankles. What?
time. Oh, no, I said get it from another
Oh,
angle next time.
got you, got you.
Nah, fish, yeah, definitely, man. Come on, draw. Hey, this show is about learning, man, and I learn from everybody. Wally's a young legend in the game, but he always trying to learn too. So if you
Yeah,
you
fish
get
for sure, bro.
on,
Like
come on.
that's the whole point. Like we want to draw, talk, hang out, rotate people in from time to time to draw with us, because we can all learn from practice and showing each other our little cheats and little ways to do it, and whatever else. And it just becomes a cool opportunity. Like at some point, I love to get other people on who don't draw at all, just to have
Hmm.
them come on and try things to see if anything that we're talking about actually makes sense or is actually helping anybody. You know what I
We
mean?
gotta get Miss Beverly on. Get Miss Beverly on to try it out one time. That'll be an accomplishment right there.
She might do it just off the love of us, but then again, she might be like, nah, nah. But yeah,
Shoot.
Fish, bro, you definitely welcome for sure. All right. So I've drawn a weird creature. Maybe that's how I'll do it. Every night I'll draw at least, every time we get on, I'll draw at least one creature. I should have drew something like a dragon though.
Oh, speaking of dragons, I got an idea for a book, bro.
Oh my. Is this something you want to talk about on here or something you saving for another time? What tell me.
Bro, it's gonna be a hit, bro. I don't listen.
So do you want to share it now?
Me and the kids started writing it a couple months ago, and I was like, "Yo, that would be a great idea." It's called,
Wait, so Danny got something that you was writing months ago that's just now been talked about?
bro. I got so much stuff. Bro. I got so much stuff that. See, y'all think I'll be spoiling everything, but I'll be holding on to some stuff. But I don't know if I shared it with you. I got a whole Google folder full of ideas to pitch to people. Um,
I don't know if you shared me a whole I don't know. Maybe. But I don't think
yeah,
so. Not a whole folder.
it's like 20 word docs. That's just ideas that I came up with. That's how Black Rose happened. That's how dang, what was the other one that me and the goat? That's how the goat happened. Like all all of this stuff that we just be talking about randomly, and I'll be like, that will make a good story. Uh, and I just jot it down and trying to figure out, when to fit it in. Oh, you got the Great Stone Dragon.
Something.
How you get into drawing like fantastical creatures like that, man? Like you would seem like, for people that didn't know you, I think they wouldn't think that you would be the type of person to draw, you know, fantastical creatures. Like in Fairy Tale Nights, you had a bunch of different imaginary creatures, and the Legend of Black Pandas, the same thing. Like all these different anthropomorphic um beings.
Yeah. Um,
How did you? How does this stuff creep into your imagination?
I mean, really, probably just it was an escape. Um, I think it was. I mean, because all kids, no matter what the background, to some degree, or at least from certain eras, you still like the crazy fantasy stuff. You still like cool things that go defy the norm, right?
Hmm.
So if you can draw even a little bit, even if it is stick people, you might want to venture off into something beyond the norm, at least for me. And so it was it seemed easier to draw things that didn't look human because then I didn't have to really know anatomy. I had to understand it a little bit, but I didn't have to really be a master of it or nothing like that. It's like, oh, I can say it looks like that because it's not human. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell me what this thing is supposed to look like because you've never seen one of these before. Um, but then the other side of it was definitely an escape from the real world things that were going on. So it was like here I can make things whatever I want. I can be in this other world. So it was just kind of, I guess, a natural progression to go into those directions over time. But it's also cool to just try to come up with things that aren't the norm, at least in my mind. The
Yeah.
fantasy elements, they have a certain cool, and that was definitely a chance to escape from regular life a little bit. I'm not sure where this guy was going, but I'm just gonna pretend like I knew what I was gonna do with him. Uh, Beverly says she's trying to avoid that.
Nah, we gonna get we gonna real Miss Clap in. We're gonna try to get her on one of these shows someday, and at least get some stick figures down. Okay, yeah, I'll be at the Durham. I'll be at the Durham Mini Con next weekend. That's next weekend, the 12th. Yeah, I'll be out there. I got some free tickets to give away. And I'll be doing that next week. This weekend I'll be at Eastgate Comic Con, so I'll be out there and with Marshall Lakes and the crew, and Stephanie Williams will be out there. Um, Elijah and the crew will be out there.
See,
Fred
that's
and
what I'm
Daryl.
saying. Man. You be out there with all the heavy hitters, bro.
Man, I'm
Doing
just
that
trying.
real, doing that real.
I'm trying to dang on. I'm just trying to be where everybody is, man. I'm trying to be in the place.
Trying
Get
to
to
be where
know.
everybody knows your name.
Nah, I want everybody to know Ace Blade, King Supreme. That's what I want them to know. Um,
Fish says he has so many notes for Green Zone. It'll take him 20 years to get them all into books. But that's
bruh,
dope though that you got so much content that you know that you have a path for it. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely understand if I could find half of all the notes I'd be making about stuff, I'd probably have a arsenal too though.
I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. There used to be a time where Wally wouldn't even write stuff down. He'd be
It's
like,
still like that. That's what makes it even worse.
"Hey man, I told you about this idea I had, right?" I'd be like, "Nah, Wally, you didn't tell me that. I didn't know." He was like, "Yeah, he had this whole elaborate thing." I was like, "Oh yeah, man, send it to me." It's like, "Nah, it's just in my head. I was just thinking about it." I'm like,
And
"Okay."
and then it'd be like, now how am I supposed to help put this story together if you if I got to listen to you talk about it and then retype it because you ain't taking the time to type it, my brother. And anybody that's worked with me on a personal project, they know I don't like to write. I don't like to write it down. I'll write notes. I'll write like quick cliff notes sometimes, but most of the time I play it all out in my head and just keep it there. And then anybody that's co-writing with me, they're like, "Yo, bro, how am I supposed to do anything with this? Like, I can't. You gonna talk it to me? You gonna talk it to me every time?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, I am gonna talk it to you."
Hey Wally, I got a
Dragon's a bit
surprise.
wonky.
Next week I'm gonna have a surprise, bro.
I appreciate that, Fish. I greatly appreciate it, bro.
I check my tracking numbers, see if it'll be here next week, but might have a surprise next week. About to take it to another level.
Are you talking about the books or you talking about something else?
Nah, the sketching. You,
You did a
you
sketch cover or something?
Nah, you sent me a link last week to some special lead that'll make my drawings 10 times better.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
That super special drawing enhancement lead.
Yeah, I ain't even gonna speak on it. I'll wait till it pops up so you can show the people. Yo, Fish, do you draw in different colors and then go back over with your inks, or do you just draw one color and then ink, or what's your process? Now, Danny, if somebody else decides to start using that special that you're talking about, you know what I'm saying? You gonna come for them? You gonna say that they biting your style, or you just gonna respect that it could
Exactly.
just be a coincidence?
Exactly. That's me. That's me. I ain't seen nobody else doing that. That's me. That's the one thing. I ain't got no art style. I ain't got no special uh no special style, no special shapes and stuff that I use.
Hmm.
But that's the one thing I got.
Well, it's the one thing you're gonna have once you get it. Once you get it
Yeah,
and
where I'm
start
at.
implementing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's one thing I have.
because you got to get it and start implementing it. Yeah. See,
Hmm.
the other thing, and Fish mentioned this, like when things have, odd anatomy and give you room to just kind of play around, you can kind of cheat. You can make up things as you go. Like you don't have to abide by the rules, so you can have a little more fun with it. But again, if you understand a little bit of anatomy, it gives you even more room to play. If you notice with Fairy Tale Nights, which is a book I did for my daughter years ago, Patrick the Wolf was not on fully on screen a lot.
Hmm.
And the reason for that was because I did not understand canine anatomy well enough at all. So I would get away with certain things, and I wasn't using a lot of references back then. Um, but I would just do a lot of his face and his head and partial body just so that I could get away with showing enough of him to say he was there. So I was kind of, I guess, as y'all would say, Rob Liefelding the feet.
I was gonna
Um,
say it. I was gonna say it if you
yeah.
didn't. You
But
see.
now I draw out, and I still don't. I'm not a master of canine anatomy, but I understand it much better, and I use references constantly. Um, so I feel more better about drawing them, but then it was still a stylized thing because just because you learn how to draw something, don't mean that you can draw it well and draw it well enough to stylize it. So the 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 next Fairy Tale Nights book, well, my plan is eventually to redraw the whole first book and
Oh no.
add some things in that we didn't put in the first volume. And Jarrell has been working on the second volume for a while. We've been back and forth about details on it. Um, but he's doing a lot of the concepting for what happens moving forward in the world. So I'm not as active on the storytelling side as I was with the first book. And he's kind of doing his thing with a lot of it. He'll hit me, tell me, "Hey man, what do you think about this? Is this cool?" But my job this time around is to make sure that those visuals are really what they need to be. Uh, he
How
draws
many
in blue
lessons?
line, inks over it. Use a lot of non-repo blue pencils when I worked in print shops. Still love the color, and it makes it easy to tell my pencils from the ink. Yeah, that's exactly what got me into using the blues, and then I started adding red just so I could change an arm up or something like that. I'm sorry, Dan. He's about to say something, brother.
How many lessons before we get into color?
Now, when you say color, are you talking about traditional colors or digital colors?
Nah, digital, bro. I ain't ready for. I mean, I'm trying to. Oh, that's right. You do got the markers though. That is. You know what? ah, I can't get me some traditional color lessons. I got me
Who
a
got them? You got the markers. My markers be running low. My daughter still, I ain't gonna say still. She comes and borrows
bro.
my markers.
My kids, bro. They are these jokers are savages. My son got a whole like workstation of my stuff that I better not take out of his room. That he be like, hey, that's mine, Dad. I'm like, no, I bought this and I use this.
And he'd be like, "What necklace?"
He'd be like, he'd be like, when you leave, I'm gonna take it back again.
Right, right. I'm cool, but when you leave, I'm gonna be up again.
Shoot.
Yeah, my daughter finally asked for her own set of watercolors the other day because she
Okay.
has mine captive.
She said, hey, if you buy me some, I'll give them back to you.
Pretty much. But she'll still probably come and get mine from time to time.
Yeah. Hey. it's good to have the kids in the arts though, man. Like I don't think that, especially public schools, they don't. I don't know if they don't have the desire or the the bandwidth to focus on it as much. So
I think it's just not considered as important as other things are considered to be, which is sad because art has literally changed the lives of many, many people. And it changed. I mean, the world revolves around art in some form or fashion. There's nothing in the world. I always say this. There's nothing in the world that didn't have a creative mind behind it in some form or fashion. From
yeah,
the bowls you eat soup cereal out of to the stop signs and the design of a city that you're moving through. Somebody with a
yeah,
creative mind had to make that what it is. But
right,
artists and the arts are the least concerned thing when you're talking about a society that moves off of a certain understanding of what they feel like life should be and how they feel like life should be, which is why so many kids don't get support when they're into art, especially if their families don't understand it. My family didn't understand it either completely, but they stood with me on it. You know what I'm saying? It was like, well, that's what he's interested in. That's what he's interested in.
hmm,
You know? But some parents don't get it. They're like, how you plan to live off that? And most
yeah,
kids ain't got an answer. I mean, it's different now because we see so many things changing or whatever. But it definitely once upon a time, a lot of kids didn't have an answer for that. You know? Yeah, officially said it exactly. Art is not on the standardized test.
mm. And it's a shame. They
True.
artists
That's
put
it.
everything in our lives to make things better than cereal in a gray box. That's hey, if it wasn't for dang on the cookie, what was the cookie crisp? What was that howling dog from the cookie crisp, bro? I ate so much cookie crisp because of that dog. I ate so much cookie crisp. I don't even know if they still make that. I ate so much of that cereal because of that little howling dog, though, bro. Ridiculous.
I don't think I ever ate cookie crisp. I might have tried it one time.
There you go
I
with your
was more
moon.
of a well, I loved Captain Crunch, but we couldn't always get Captain Crunch, so I would eat King Vitamin a lot,
King Vitamin.
which was not Captain Crunch at all. But hey, you had to do what you had to do. But
Yeah.
when I could
It
get
looked,
that Captain Crunch, even though it would jack the roof of your mouth up,
bro. Captain Crunch was, bro. It had the right amount of sweetness, bro. For me, be like, dang, why is it so delicious? But yeah, Fish is right. I got on. It was Cookie Crisp for me, and then as I got older, it was Cinnamon Toast Crunch. But
yeah,
now,
Cinnamon Toast
now I'm
Crunch
a
too.
little older. Now I'm legit older. It's raisin bran crunch, bro. Me and Tiana destroy a box of raisin bran crunch right now.
Wait, you said Raisin Bran Crunch? I mean, I ain't ate cereal in so long. I don't even know what's out there. You said Raisin Bran Crunch.
Yeah, they got a raisin bran crunch. It's got like granola and stuff like that in it, but it's that's the one. That's the one, man.
Raisin Bran Crunch.
Yep. Trust me.
So
If
it's
you
like
ever get you some
Captain Crunch with Raisin Bran.
it ain't quite that, but it's like just trust me. Get you like J. Cole said, some raisin bran and some almond milk, some banana bread, some almond milk, and some raisin bran crunch. It'd be good, bro. Feel like an adult and still have a little fun.
I hear you. I don't know, man. I ain't ate no cereal in so long. I might just take your word on that one.
Facts, facts.
Well, my brother, seems like we've had another good, productive. Man, that's sort of crooked.
Ugh, dry cereal. Well, some cereal is good dry though. It depends. It depends on which ones. see if you're weird or not. Some cereal is good dry.
My daughter eats dry cinnamon toast crunch.
Yeah, that's legit. Yeah, honey bunch
I
of
don't eat it.
oats.
I don't eat it
Raisin.
though.
I don't know about that fish. Honey bunch of oats mixed with raisin bran. That might be a little too much fiber for me, bro. I might have to.
Well, he might be just saying from the taste standpoint though, not what it do to you, just how good it might taste. It definitely probably is very rich in the fibers. You're gonna be in a special room.
For some time. I gotta get out of here, Wally. I got a little special thing I gotta do for somebody.
Aw,
Um,
you doing something sweet for Tiana.
eh, in a little bit. She's still working right now. She next door. Got a client this late. She that's the real hustler in the family. So uh, we're gonna get home and I'm gonna I'm gonna rub her feet. And we ain't gonna talk about that.
See,
But
that's
yeah.
why I'm putting your feet up on the screen because I knew everybody knew the foot fetish was your thing, brother.
But nah, look, this one came out pretty good, right? Like I had the triangle. I had triangle right here. Had the big triangle, and then the other triangle, the heel down to the toe, up under the foot.
Uh huh.
I don't know if this line should be that dark, like on the actual foot, but it's supposed to do. So
Yeah. Only thing I would have did different was put a curvature in there to show the where the sole of the foot meets. But other than that, it's pretty solid to me.
I'm
Well,
learning. I can take instructions. Remember that first couple of episodes, you were telling me not. You said don't go too far. Do stick with uh stick with the class. And I was trying to draw full fledged people. I'm slowing down a little bit.
doing it the right way, slowly but surely.
That's right.
Well, listen, good people. We appreciate y'all coming out and rocking with us. You know, I had to let the hair down today. You know what I'm saying? I got
Got to
the
do it.
you know what I'm saying, the plaits and on the side and all that. Someone hit me the other day and was like, "Yo, you cut your hair?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did."
Got to do it
New
sometime.
the next level of what we do, but hair aside, Danny's foot fetish aside, um,
Sure.
you know, we appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with us again. Our goal is to do this every Wednesday about 6:30. Sometimes it might get moved to 7, but 6:30 is the goal. We had a little technical difficulties with the original link this time, so we had to go live on a second link. Don't know why. Me and Danny, neither one of us understand what happened. We ain't even trying to figure it out. We're just gonna keep going. But we do want to have people on to draw with us, chat with us, and all that other good stuff. So hit us up, hit Danny up because he's the guy that does the most communication. You might send me a Facebook message and I don't see it for 2 weeks because I'm just terrible at logging into social media.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll
but
send
you
you
get
next time. I'm gonna get you on here. I'm gonna send you the link next time if you're available, bro.
yeah. So we appreciate everybody that came and hung out, everybody who chops it up with us. Um, man, it's always cool. We plan on continuing to do this and grow this and into whatever it turns into. And yeah, maybe we'll get into some colors next time, Danny, digital or otherwise. We'll chop it up about it before Wednesday and decide, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Um, so appreciate y'all good people. Much love, respect. We out.